Hello, good morning, and welcome to forexforsteadyprofit.com. I use the Commitment of Traders report, which comes out every week on a Friday, and I need to give me an idea of market direction. I analyze the ratios of longs to shorts for the commercials and non-commercials, and I also look at the divergence on the pairs, and it gives me an idea of market direction. We'll just go and have a quick look at the charts. So here we have the Commitment of Traders information in its raw form. You get the non-commercial positions and the commercial positions, long and short, and then you get the change in open interest. And you also get that broken down underneath for longs and shorts for both the commercials and the non-commercials. And we can see this broken down into a graph over a period of time, which also gives us comparatives, which are also very useful to look back on the history. And so we'll go and do that right now. And here we have a graph of the positions over 52 weeks, that's a year, for the commitment of traders of the commercials and non-commercials. And this is for the Australian dollar. This chart is produced by cotbase.com. And you can see here where we got to a low position with the commercials, and we're completely opposite to the speculators, and they've got a long position, so we're short. You can see we had a big drop off in the price of the Australian dollar. Conversely, when we were at a high and very bullish for the commercials, and we were fairly bearish for the non-commercials, that we actually had a hike in the rise of the price of the Australian dollar. This is a very useful tool to be using, and we can show you other ways that we use it and other things that we do with it. So here we have the Australian dollar, US dollar, and we've got the RSI. Now if we put a trend line on the RSI and we wait for it to go above the 69.1 and come back down and cut through it, this gives us a sell signal. Now, this obviously would have been a very good sell signal here. We had a sell signal here indicating this big long fall that we've had. And quite recently, we've had a rise in the price of the Australian dollar, which is just going through the 50 here. And I'm expecting it to turn back down and cut through the trend line, which will give us another sell signal because we have an extreme position of short the commercials and long the non-commercials on the Commitment of Traders report, and this should be quite a long sustained downward trend, which is always very profitable. Last bit of information, this is Ludwig's divergence calculator, and it works really well, and this helps us with the crosses. These are the currencies against the US dollar, and here we have the crosses calculated, and it gives us a divergence value between the commercials and the non-commercials, and it shows some of the pairs that are of more interest than others. A very useful tool, only available on the Members Centre, and the pairs that are of most interest we do feature on the video on the Members Centre every day, so you get a daily video on those. Hello, good morning and welcome. 1st of November, just after 8 o'clock, so we've got the London Open, and we'll start as ever with the AUD USD. We've basically bounced along the bottom for the last 5 trading days. We've come down onto support. Not much upside on this, so you know, I am expecting it to follow through short towards the end of the week. We've got non-farm payrolls on Friday, and we've got employment change at 1:30 GMT this afternoon, and we've also got ISM manufacturing figures, which both should be fairly decent. So we'll see if we can see an improvement in the AUD USD this afternoon. We have a commercial short ratio of 6.15 to 1. We've bounced off the 30.9, and I'm expecting it to sort of fall down and follow through towards the end of the week. The pound is gaining strength. Everybody thinks there's going to be a rate hike. I think there probably won't be, and I think most of the benefit from a rate hike has already been factioned in. So if we don't hike, I expect the pound to fall. But I do see this small hike here. I don't think it's many pips. I see it as a fairly decent selling opportunity. So I'll nearly 200 pips. So go up to support, resistance, maybe up here somewhere at 134. That would be a good selling opportunity. We'll see how that unfolds. USD CAD. I've got a buy in. I'm about at entry at the moment. We have a commercials ratio of 3.67 short the Canadian dollar along the pair. So I'm expecting more strength, as I said. The RSI is above the 69.1. If it holds above 69.1, this is going up. It's the mathematical equation that's used on the RSI. It has to fall below to drop down. So that's what we'll be watching there. The Euro USD, again sideways motion the last few days. This nice big candle down. Expecting more strength in the dollar. They have been talking the euro up over the last few days, and I do see this as a good selling opportunity. We are well below the 50 on the RSI. I don't see much more upside. I'm going to take this trend line out, and I see this, just going down. We have a commercial short ratio of 1.64 to 1, which is not a high figure, but as a percentage change over the last 12 months, the euro has been long on the commercials for such a long time, for about 5 years. It's actually crossed over short, and we are expecting it to come down. USD, Japanese yen. We've had a couple of candles, green candles, last couple of days. I see that as a good selling opportunity. I put a trade in this morning, small trade, short. It's very, very slightly into profit. We've got resistance just above a weekly resistance. I can show you that on the chart here. It was weekly resistance here, and if we go back in history, just about there, this is quite strong resistance. So I don't see a lot more upside in this. Oh, sorry, put it on a weekly. That would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, there we go. There and there. Back through here. These are weekly turning points. So we will expect these to obviously offer a bit of resistance. We've also got monthly resistance just above it. I think that's about 100 pips above. We have a commercial short ratio of 4.04. Well, it's long the Japanese yen, short the pair. So yeah, we'll see how that goes anyway. I see this short from here anyway. I've got a trade on. It is actually moving down as I speak. If I can get a stop in, if it moves down about 20 or 30 pips, I can take another trade out. So I add to my shorts, and we'll see where that goes. New Zealand dollar had some good news this morning. I think it was employment and employment change and percentage of unemployed. Sorry about that, fluffing my words a bit. This I think is short-lived. It's a little bit of a spike up. I think it's going to drop back down below. The US dollar I see as gaining strength into the end of the week. So this little bit of an upturn, and it's only about 70 pips. Do remember that we've already fallen about 700. So 70 pips back up isn't massive. And I do see this as a fairly good selling opportunity. Silver, yeah, we've had a little bit of a bounce back overnight. It's on support. It's been here 4 days. We'll see what happens later on, but towards the end of the week, I am expecting this to break down and a stronger dollar to come. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. We did have quite a surge in the DAX last night. It's actually gapped up. That's and also we've had a little bit of strength in the S&P 500, but only by the by. And of course, the oil price is still at highs, so we are seeing a bit of strength in the Canadian dollar. Okay, thank you. Cheers.